Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today I'm going to be doing the Alteration review for the Full Armor Double Zeta Gundam. So as far as the Full Armor Double Zeta, the speed attribute, this one is going to come with base exclusive, heavy armor, high firepower, and then Gundam type as four of the war tags that you'll be able to fight within this overall unit. And granted, if you guys do have the original version, which is going to be the tech attribute, you will be able to access that version of the war tags if you do have this part right here. So if you have any of the part right here and then you have any of the other one on the old one, you will be able to access it. Granted, you have this one as 7 stars. So that's pretty much how it works. So as far as this overall unit, what we see right now, there's total of 5 EX skill from head part to back part. So I don't know, like me honestly, I really wouldn't even go for this unit just because of the fact that all the EX skill are literally the same. The only differences is going to be the head part. They actually give us like a nice, 24, I think it's 24% of max, but a nice 29% up as far as, let's say, your shot attack. So that one, could be good, but like, does it really matter? It's gonna be the same EXQ anyways, right? Unless you want the one that hits harder, then go for this one. But if you guys do have the original version, that is definitely fine and ready. The other thing that they have adjusted is obviously going to be the back part EX skill being the custom EX skill. This one, the only thing that they pretty much done is pretty much increase the power up to an SS minus now, so it's gonna be hitting a little bit harder. Another thing that they have updated is going to be the shot attack to your squad is now up to 59%, and then they also give you an additional effect of non-flinching for a set a period of time. So those are going to be like the two main changes as far as like the EX skill. But pretty much everything is going to be the same. So the only thing that we are looking at is pretty much going to be especially for the head part to the back part, it's going to be the stat. Is it good? Is it really worth something for compared to some of your counter, let's say, shooting based parts? So let's kind of get started. So this is the Excel sheet that we're looking at. That's pretty much where I kind of record all these stats using like the change gear, the 40% change gear plus the base shot attack. So you guys can see that you will not find any of the full armor that would say the part within like the top, let's say 20, because like look at the stat. The stat is actually going to be down here for the head part. Why is that? I'm gonna show you guys why. Because when they build this unit over here, I don't know why they went for like this. So this one is going to be built a little bit different. Reason being because they pretty much neglected, or you could say they distributed all the stat to the resistant. This is probably like the overall unit design. Maybe they're basing it off from the actual Gundam lore itself, from like the Double Zeta series, because with the extra armor, maybe you have way better beam resistance than your actual defensive stats. So I guess that's why. But I don't know, man. But just looking at it in game right now, this is what it presented. So pretty much you have really good beam resistance. So for anyone out there that cares about like a specifically I don't know when they'll bring it back, but sometime in the future they'll pretty much bring back another arena, maybe one arena mode that is dedicated to the beam resistance. So you guys know pretty much how that works. The higher the beam resistance goes, the higher battle assessment point you'll be getting. So people that want to rank into like the top 100, for example, they will find parts that have the highest, let's say this one right here. This unit itself, the best selling point is the fact that this unit has one of the best beam resistance that you ever find, given a limited time alteration part. So this one is probably the only really good sign that I'll give it to. But other than that, this unit overall, as far as the style wise, is pretty bad. So yeah. So that's pretty much what they did with the overall stat. So this unit is not the first one to receive such like a weird stat distribution. The other two that we have got to the same thing is going to be the Gundam Fenice. So this one, the Fenice Liberta. So this one pretty much have the same thing, but this one is a little bit balanced. So I think the best substar partner is definitely going to be this unit over here, because this one is not big scale. So when you pair up with 12044 to a big scale, you get that scale difference and etc. So this one, in my honest opinion, is probably one of the best friend in a way. There is also another one. This one is going to be your melee version. So this one is going to be your Barbados Lupus Rex. So this one, pretty much the same thing, just having some pretty good resistance. So this is not the first time they're doing it, so I'm pretty sure this is not the last time they're doing it as well. So that's why I feel like the first 5 part of the full armor double Zeta is pretty much not going to be good. You guys can see that is that it's going to be 25, or you can say 23, I guess, in a way. So yeah, they're pretty bad. From here, for the head part, we have ace exclusive and then heavy armor, so that's going to be that. Torso piece, we have, you know, ace exclusive and then heavy armor once again. So yeah, it just doesn't get any better, unfortunately. So but I would say the overall stat is, you know, pretty, what I even say, balanced to melee. Not really. It's still somewhat higher than your melee, so that's unfortunate. But the overall stat, it seems quite, you know, balanced, right? Because everything, like pretty much every category, every parameter does get something. So but this one is going to be different. It's not going to be for everyone, because generally what people would do in a melee build or ship based build, they will use either or gear, right? I'm going to show you guys this gear right now. Alright, so as far as this full armor double Zeta, it's going to be a benefit really nice when you guys use this gear, the change resistant gear. So this one is pretty much getting a 35% based off your combined resistant, so beam and physical. So when you combine two of them together, they're pretty much going to be giving 35% to your melee and shot. So that's where this piece is going to be really powerful when you have parts that gives out a ridiculous amount of bolt resistant, especially the beam and physical. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. But normally what people use is pretty much going to be either or the melee change gear or the shot change gear. So this one, that's why I said it's going to be a little bit different, just because I feel like the resistant gear is probably not the one that's most used in a way. But just continue the trend. This one has 6,000 beam resistant. Like what is this? This is crazy. Same thing for the arm. You know, it's just pretty bad defensive stat, but the base on the arm, the base shot attack is 9,000 already. That is really good. So yeah, but unfortunately it's not going to be placed really high. It's still gonna, you know, show some weaknesses compared to some of the other parts, being that has some better posture already. So that's why I feel like this full armor double Zeta is not gonna be good unless you talk about the beam resistant. Everything else I feel like it's just like just another carbon copy in a sense. So just gonna quickly show you guys the elite part as well. You know, 5,900. Hello, that's really good. But this one is not really gonna place that high. Again, you know, being a new part, placing this low on the roster is feels bad. You know, it just feels kind of bad. But yeah, the overall, the other side looks pretty good. You know, you do have some pretty good chunks of melee attacks, pretty good chunks of, you know, base shot attacks. So you know, type wise gonna be AC system now, and then Gundam type. So pretty much revolving around, you know, your shooter mace attack. So back part now, pretty much gonna be the same situation. 5,500 for your beam resistant, so pretty good all around. But then things I feel like it's pretty good that I do want to kind of, you know, applause for is definitely gonna be the melee weapon now. This one is actually pretty good because I don't remember us actually getting like a squad version of a cooldown on any of the melee weapons. So if I recall correctly, so this one is actually pretty good just to have it. And then you also do have a squad shooting power boosted, so that's why it's gonna give this one another thumbs up. And this one does actually have some pretty high stats for your melee weapon for shooting base part, so that's pretty good. Or a melee weapon that has some pretty good shooting stats. So I will definitely give this one a thumbs up. So this is probably, if you want to say a usable part, I think this is definitely, you know, best of both worlds. You get some pretty good beam resistance. You get some pretty good base stats, like especially for your shot attack. And this one does have some pretty good part rate, so why not? So the hyper beam saber, definitely a thumbs up for sure. And then now going to the ranged weaponries, we have the hyper mega cannon. See what this one does. This one is pretty much going to be another carbon copy of the Gundam part tray, because I believe we have a dozen of these already. This one is going to be pumping up both damage tray, which I believe we have similar ones already. Let me kind of take a look. I believe we already do, right? I think we pretty much have a lot. Like I think one I can look at already right now should be this one. But this one is actually a 50% power boosting plus a 50% damage, so it's a little bit different. But you guys can see the drip that we do have similar stuff already kind of existing. The one I want to look for is actually, is it even, can I even find it now? I don't think it's on here. But the one I'm trying to look for is actually the Sasabi, the lifestyle version. I believe that one has the same portrait. Kind of the same thing, right? Let me take a look. It's gonna be the long rifle. Yeah, this one pretty much has the same thing, but this one you can say slightly have the worst condition, because this one does kind of restrain you to using beam weapon only, and then this one will restrain you to only using long rifle for your for the ranged weapon slot. So this one you can call it like a worse version if you look at the Sasabi. And then when we take a look at the full armor, that would say that that one is actually the better version. But there is one, I guess, one caveat. This one does, as far as the full armor, that would say the one, that one just kind of locked you into using high firepower, which is I don't know. Alright, if you talk about like, you know, ultra meta stuff, like I don't know how many people actually still use this high firepower, because like if you talk about like the meta build, I think what people do now is they drop high firepower and adapt transformer for those two specific parts, the Venetia Liberator back part and then the shield part. So given that due to those reasons, I feel like high firepower in like the top meta build is not relevant. But if you talk about like, you know, casual build, I definitely say high firepower is definitely a sufficient, you know, tag already. So this one I would say is okay, but granted of the options that we have already, if you have invested into any of the other ones already, this is just not going to be a good one. This one's going to be a bazooka category, so this is actually a nice kind of, you know, a pretty good one to be looking at, just because of the fact that we really don't have a lot of bazooka type ranged weapon on the roster, so it's good to have some. So it's not bad overall. Last but not least, we have the double beam rifle, probably just not that good. The first trait is going to be a squad EX skill piercing up by a 33%. I think piercing trait is actually just not going to be that good. But this one, you can definitely put this on maybe a supporting type bro, maybe want it to be. It's just, I don't think piercing is just not too effective overall, unless you talk about some specific challenges. So yeah, second trait is definitely really good. You do have some, you know, enemy shooting damage plus 50%, so we'll definitely take those. But other than that, if you're talking about the totality of the full armor Devastada, I think there's just a lot of parts that are actually not going to be good. It's just that you can't really run it effectively in a way. So this is going to be the other spreadsheet that I kind of want to show you guys. So this is pretty much where I label both the respective melee change here and then the shot based change here. You guys can see the difference over here. So this one, I do also have the resistance here, so you guys can see that the shot attack just kind of jumps up. These right here actually just places over any of the top parts in the game currently if you do use that specific gear. So there's definitely incentive to just kind of run this one if you can. But obviously within what is given for the full armor Devastada, you just can't really viably do it, just because some like don't even have good portrait or none at all, because they're pretty much EX base. And even if you talk about, you know, pairing this one up to the Venetia Liberator, it's probably not going to be effective as well, just because some of the portrait is actually not that good. Some has, you know, EX and etc. Right? So I think overall, in my honest opinion, summoning for the full armor Devastada is only for those that really cares about the beam resistant arena. They definitely want the highest beam resistance part possible. But for, like, you know, casual players, you know, just in general, this one is definitely a hot skip for me. And any of these part is probably just not going to be good for the Alteration either, just because of the fact that it does pretty much rely heavily on the resistant kind of stats rather than the traditional melee plus the whatever defense that we're looking at. So, but other than that, do let me know how many you guys actually did summon on it, and if you guys did, do let me know how many part you guys are able to get. But other than that, that's gonna be pretty much it for me as for the review, and then I'll be catching you guys on the next one.